Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the charging system. There are only a few parts to this system, so this will be a pretty quick video. We'll start with the battery. The battery supplies power to vehicle accessories when the vehicle is not running. Its primary purpose, however, is to supply power to the starter. The starter pulls a ton of power in order to function, so when you start your car, the battery loses some of its topped-off supply. Once the vehicle is running, the alternator trickle charges the battery in order to replace the charge that was lost during ignition. The battery also acts as a sort of power conditioner or load balancer for the electrical system of the vehicle. That's it. That's all the battery does.
That's a goddamn lie.
See what I mean? Short video. Next, we'll talk about the alternator. The alternator is what powers all the electrical stuff in the car once it's running. The alternator is a belt-driven device that generates AC current, the same kind of current that your house uses. In order for the electricity the alternator produces to be usable in the vehicle, however, it needs to be converted into DC current. This is done through a series of diodes. Under the hood somewhere, there will also be a voltage regulator. This little box does exactly what the name says it does. It regulates voltage. It regulates the voltage that goes back into the battery, and it regulates the voltage that gets pushed through the rest of the vehicle. Voltage regulator location varies by make and model. Sometimes they're inside the alternator. Sometimes regulators are bolted to the back side of the alternator, and sometimes there's external regulators that are bolted to the inside of the inner fender well. Sometimes the alternator is unable to produce enough electricity to run all the components of the car at any given time. When this happens, the car allows the battery to make up the difference, and then the alternator will recharge the battery back up to full. One of the misconceptions about the charging system in a vehicle is that the alternator acts like a super high-performance battery charger, and this just isn't the case. A normal Napa battery charger that's $30 will charge a battery from dead to full so much faster than an alternator will, and you actually risk damaging the alternator if you hook it up to an almost dead battery and try to start your car. We can now talk about ways these systems fail and the symptoms that happen because of that. Having a failing alternator while driving your vehicle will be a very fun experience. You'll notice the lights will start to dim, the radio will start sounding kind of staticky, maybe the heater fan will start slowing down, and over a very short amount of time, all the electrical systems in your car will fail, and then your car will have to be drifted over to the side of the road where you'll park it. When the alternator fails, the vehicle relies on the battery for power, and with the way these modern vehicles suck power out of the battery, batteries don't last that long. Perhaps the most common issue, though, is waking up in the morning, going out to your car, turning the key, and have nothing happen.
It ain't got no gas in it.
There are a few things this could be, but because this is a charging system video, we will talk about charging system parts. Most likely cause of this is a dead battery. At that point, you'll have to ask yourself why the battery is dead. Was something left on all night and drained the battery?
Drain it!
Or is the battery just old and worn out and it is time to get a new one? Now, I have seen external voltage regulators do some crazy things when they go bad, like allowing way too much voltage to go into vehicle systems to the point of making headlights burn brighter and then pop and things like that. So all sorts of crazy, weird things can happen when the voltage isn't supplied properly. This about wraps it up for today. I did use some photos from my neighbor Cody today in this video, so thanks for that, Cody. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a message or text me or find me on Facebook or drop a comment or send a smoke signal. You know, smoke signals and faxes are relatively underdone these days as forms of communication. Communicate with me however you wish. Thank you so much for being here and listening to my nonsense. Have a great day. Take care.